What up, world? Welcome to an episode of Wrestling Life. As you know, I am the host, Brandon Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms over, Brandon Janeau Show. Social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, Brandon Janeau, Facebook, The Brandon Janeau Show, and of course, TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Go follow me on all of those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. Really, where you go though is the YouTube channel, man. Brandon Show. Shout out to everybody that has subscribed this whole year. I appreciate you guys for subscribing, sticking with me throughout this whole year. Appreciate you guys. Oh man, you can subscribe to the Brandon Show on YouTube. Like the vids, like the shorts. Yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys enjoy this, man. Like I said, this is wrestling life. I have literally one, two more episodes to do this year. This is one of them. The other one will be next Saturday night for John Cena's last match. And the card is already shaping up to be pretty fucking good. I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I didn't think they would do it, but WWE all year long has been half-ass, which is, there's no real build. There's just a bunch of fucking matches that's being put on a card. Great. I don't know what the fuck that tells me next week, but next week will be next week, and I'll be doing that rate review show next Saturday for John Cena's last match, which will now finally be against Gunther, the ring general. But tonight, it's all about the NXT, baby. It's all about NXT. This was NXT's Deadline 2025. This is my rate and review show of Deadline. This is the last PLE of the year for a WWE or NXT brand. So this is the last WWE NXT pay-per-view PLE of the year. And it was good. Like extremely good. The main roster last week fucking killed everybody's joy when it came to that bullshit ass pay-per-view they dropped last week. But NXT re-engaged us. We got what we wanted from last week. We got that shit tonight from NXT. Like I said last week when I did that show, I pretty much knew NXT was gonna bring it tonight because NXT is actually more hungry and they're not trying to just live off a fucking namesake. Anyway, there is one, two, three, four, five matches on the card tonight for NXT Deadline. And if you don't know, I do my rate review show. I talk about each match individually, give out my reviews. If I have two or more five-star matches, which I do, I will talk about each match individually and then name one my match of the night for the night. So let's get into it. NXT Deadline. Starting off this, my least favorite match of the night was Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. I get it's 2.5 stars. Um, More about where the card is. The card at the time when they finally got in the ring was pretty good. So I didn't really have too much, all feeling towards this match. I know a lot of people was really looking forward to this match. I wasn't. I don't. I wasn't looking forward to this match. I just wasn't. Um, I felt like you could have put Blake Monroe on the card. Could have had her have a match. You could have had JC Jane have a match. Somebody like that to have the match on the card. But I mean, it is what it is. Um, you get what you get. Like I said, the story has been good. I mean, the story that they've told has been pretty spot on. Has been pretty good. But I just wasn't interested in this match. And I think that you know, after watching the earlier women put on this incredible fucking matchup for 25 minutes, and then you get these two women at the end. It's like, yes, the story's there, but the match itself was just about a big versus small. And if you're not gonna be able to tell, it picked up at the end, but at the end, it was by the time it got to the end, it was just like very slow pacing. Yeah, it was methodical, but it was just like it was very slow pacing. You kind of felt like Tatum wasn't gonna win because that's not the story they want to tell, which is more about Izzy being being the controller of the Colin. So she needed to win. She needed this big win to push her in 2026, which I think she's going to get the NXT Women's title at some point in 2026. I don't know when. Um, but yeah, I wasn't really a huge fan of this match. I thought it was pretty cool. It was okay. It was decent for what those women were. But when you compare it to earlier in the night, where I mean, literally the second match of the fucking card was the women's Iron Survivor Challenge. I mean, that match was fucking incredible. And I feel bad for them because they had to come out after that and try like follow that shit up. And even though they had a better story, literally, it just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't care. I didn't care. And there's no diss to them, but I just watched an incredible matchup with five incredible women. And I'm not saying these two aren't, but it just felt like, and then you put it right before the main event. It's like you could have did this shit in the middle. Like I truly believe you could have put the Iron Survivors Women's Challenge third. You could add this second. And I think when the crowd would have still, I think the crowd would have still been in it. I think that was another reason why. I mean, even though the crowd was kind of in it, but most of the match when Izzy Dame is beating the hell out of Tatum Paxley, you kind of lose interest in it. Like, so it was just like, yeah. So 2.5 stars. I mean, it is what it is. Next, it is Ethan Page versus Misty Iguana. I gave this 3.5 stars. It wasn't Ethan's best match as North American champion, which saying a lot. He's had some matches. The Tavion Heights one wasn't really that great. Tavion, I just felt like Tavion was just, I just felt like Tavion maybe it wasn't his time to really get that belt. Tavion could wrestle though. Tavion, if you watched him in Josh Briggs this past Tuesday, he could fucking wrestle. He's getting better. Like I have said numerous times, I think Miles Bourne is the one who's going to take the belt from. I think Miles Bourne is the one who's going to take the belt from Ethan Page. I think he's going to be the one that takes the belt from Ethan Page. They're building him to do something. If you watched him tonight, if you watched him Tuesday, if you've been watching him, they're trying to build him to be like this next Randy Orton. He's not, but again, people just be saying shit on social media. Oh, he's just like Randy. No, the fuck he's talented. I give him that, but he's not fucking Randy. But he's gonna be the one that takes the belt from Ethan Page. Now, does he take it as Stand and Deliver? I think he does. I think that's where Ethan Page loses the title. He's gonna lose it at Stand and Deliver to Miles Bourne. All in all, this was fun. I mean, Misty Iguana always puts on really fun matches. There's not really too much to it outside of just him fucking with the iguana. Uh, you don't do that shit to Misty Iguana's iguana. Liaska. Don't do that to her. You don't do that to that iguana, man. Give a shit if it's a stuffed animal. You don't do that. You spit on it, throw it out the ring. Oh my god! Why would you do that? Like I said, this could have been better. I mean, it could have been a 5-star match. I just feel like they were trying too hard to be funny and play into the comedy aspect of it all. And I think that's kind of why I kind of lost interest in it midway through. I kind of was just like, okay, this is just like, oh, they're just trying to make it funny. And if that was the case, you should have just kept the goddamn iguana in the ring. Like, you should have just played with the fucking iguana and let him do all his moves with the iguana. After a while, I just lost interest. And that's saying a lot because Ethan Page is one of my favorite wrestlers of this year. Like, I think Ethan Page's year has been fucking phenomenal. From where, like I said, from where he started in NXT, where I just think he was in a wrong feud, and that's probably more on Trick than him. I just think Trick Williams and him just never matched. They never meshed. And I think that they learned that. So they put him in the ring with people that can be a little bit more athletic than him, but all he had to do was be technically sound than them. Trick being the fact that Trick isn't really technically sound, and Trick is better as a heel than he is a face. It played better if Trick went heel. And I don't blame Ethan or Trick for that. I just feel like NXT at the time was so heavily invested in trying to push Trick as a face that he got fucked over in the end. But what he has done with this North American title in 2025, I gotta give him his credit. Like, like he is the best wrestler. I knew he was starting to kind of become one of my favorite wrestlers when him and Javon had that match in New York. I was like, okay, this dude got something. Like he's actually got something. So yeah, I like I said, this was more funny than an actual physical wrestling match. Like if you liked the aspect of Mr. Iguana being funny and the fucking like a Mr. Iguana match, like if you like that, and on top of that, I think this was like very short. And I hate saying that because a lot of people say that shit. But this was a very short match. Like for what Mr. Iguana can do in the ring, this was very fucking short. I thought this was like maybe I don't know the time. I don't know when it comes out, but it probably was maybe under 15. I'll be surprised if it was over 15 minutes. This was a very short match. Like you would be like, what the fuck? This is a very short match. It was like maybe under 15 minutes. I'll be surprised if it's at 15 or over 15. Because this felt like a very short match. And I hate saying that shit, but it did. Because it felt like it just never got out the gate. Even though, like I said, it's 3.5. Because Ethan's really fucking good and Mr. Iguana is entertaining. But that's about it. Like that's about it. Actually, I drop it down to 3. I think it's a 3-star. Yeah, 3 stars. The next one is the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. I gave this 4.5 stars. Let's see if I talk myself out of it. Let's see. Um, I didn't like the film. I didn't like John Cena's picks. Outside of Leon Slater, Javon Evans, and Joe Hendry, I didn't like his picks. I didn't like his picks. And I know the men's division in NXT is not great. It's not. It's not great. It kind of leans on himself to actually do more. But I just didn't like his picks. I didn't like his picks. I didn't like the fact that they let Miles Bourne go over Trick. And if you're not gonna put Trick in this fucking match and not even have him on a card, then having Miles Bourne fight Trick is stupid. To get into the play, I just didn't like that. I thought that was very stupid. Um, I would have preferred that they really had dipped more into the TNA Triple A connection. Um, listen, Deion Lennox, God bless you, my brother. I don't know why they're still trying to push Dark State like this dangerous fucking faction. And they're trying to make you like this dangerous fucking dude. I'm sorry, bro. You was a motherfucker reading books with some fucking Steve Urkel glasses literally a year and a half ago. I can't get behind you. I'm sorry to ask. I'm sorry, bro. Like you was reading books with Steve Urkel glasses. Nigga, I'm not about to jump on your bandwagon, my brother. And Dark State on top of that is just I just don't care. I think out of um what's his name? Sugars? Saquon Sugars. Outside of him, I don't give a shit about that group. Like he can go. He's somebody I look at and be like, that motherfucker got something. But outside of that, I don't give a shit about Deion Lennox. I don't give a shit about Odu, Griffin, whoever the fuck that is. I don't give a fuck about Cutter James. I don't give a shit about nothing. I think you fucked up the spot. I think you put that dude in there, and you didn't give us. And you built this Oba in his match all through the fucking night, even last Tuesday, like Tuesday, and then he doesn't even win the fucking Iron Survivor Challenge. It's like what the? So what the fuck was the point? Why did we do all that? Oh, and now Oba might be going to the main roster in January. Why did we do all this? Like it didn't make a lick of fucking sense to have that dude be pushed like he was being pushed. Now maybe he's the fucking person that fights Javon Evans at stand because I think Javon's beating Oba and taking a belt from Oba. I know that sounds absolutely fucking crazy, but you don't give Javon Evans again another title match just for him to lose to Oba again. I know you took the belt off of Oba because you wanted to give it to Ricky. Cool, whatever. But this is just fucking stupid. Like Javon has to win this. He has to win the title. Like this is ridiculous. If you don't give him the title, man, just move his ass up to the main roster and we can move the fuck on. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Now I know a lot of people gonna be like, now I was on Twitter today with somebody that was like, you're gonna shot put the title on Drew McIntyre for a month. You think that's a good idea? The difference between Drew winning the title and Oba winning the title and giving it to Javon a month later, the difference is that Oba's ready to go to the main roster. Like Oba can be on Raw, SmackDown right the fuck now, and it would make sense. Putting the title on Drew and then taking off him for a month later, just to give it to Randy Orton so you could finally run the Randy Cody feud, is fucking stupid. Because you literally have built Drew McIntyre to be this Terminator and been getting screwed over just for him to win the belt and have all these people on social media finally be like, finally, thank God they gave him the belt, just to then turn around and give Randy Orton this piss poor ass couple weeks notice and you're not a champion. Like, no, that's stupid. Very fucking stupid. The only time that worked in WWE was John Cena when he had to drop the belt to Bray Wyatt because Bray Wyatt's story was with Randy Orton. That's about. And then that WrestleMania 33 match just sucked. It wasn't good. And I love Bray. Rest in peace. But that match sucked. That fucking match sucked. There's a difference. This is a complete and utter difference. Javon Evans is ready to be the champion now. Oba being champion longer than what it's recommended, which is past January, would be fucking stupid. Especially when you need bodies on the main roster because all of your storylines are fucking stale. You need fresh, especially on SmackDown. Oh my God. You need fresh. You need fresh and new like tomorrow. Like tomorrow. The men's Iron Survivor Challenge match was just okay. And I gave it 4.5 stars. If it wasn't for the last 10 minutes, like it didn't get good until Joe Hendry came out there. Until like all 5 men was actually in the ring, it didn't get good. Like it was Leon and Javon slow. It was slow pacing. I wish they would have went out there and actually did just continue what they did in TNA, but they didn't do that. They slowed the pace down, which I didn't. It was fast, but it wasn't like how it was when they fought in TNA. Like if they went out there and did that shit immediately, oh, I would have been like, all right, yeah, this is it. And they kind of did, but they just yeah, I didn't understand it. Like I said, I didn't like the field. I thought the field was kind of bad. I just outside of Leon Slater, Javon Evans, and Joe Hendry, Deion Lennox and Miles Bourne being in the fucking Iron Survivor Challenge, I thought it just dragged it down. To be honest with you, I thought it dragged it down. Now somebody's gonna be like, well, who could you have put in there? You could have figured somebody out, bro. You could have put Josh Briggs in there, which I've been saying. I think Josh Briggs should have been in that fucking Iron Survivor Challenge. That's ridiculous. Like I think Josh Briggs being in there with those types of wrestlers would have made a massive fucking difference. I think the field was too, and I can't believe I'm about to say it. I think the field was too small. It didn't feel like a presence of like I gotta kick his ass, like I gotta stop him. None of that felt like that. It felt like no, it's just even. Like they're trying to make Deion Lennox like this bully, but he's not a fucking bully. He's not. And he's not. And respect to him for his football career, but he's not a fucking bully. Like he's just not that guy. If you put Josh Briggs in that bitch, all right, now we're having a different conversation. Now I was like, okay, this motherfucker here, that's like a Baron Corbin type. Like, okay, yeah, this is different. Yeah. And to be honest, I would have probably put a TNA guy in there. I would have put a TNA or Triple A guy in there. I mean, Misty Iguana was already on the card, but I would have put like Laredo Kid, Octagon Jr., or Vikingo. Something different. I would have did Vikingo. I would have did somebody, bro. And for Miles Bourne, well, to put it in for Miles Bourne. Oh shit, that's an interesting one because Tavion Heights. Fuck it. Tavion Heights. I would put Tavion Heights in there. I would have put what's old dude name? Fuck, what's old dude name? Uh, what's old dude name? That fight on Evolve. I would have put him in there. Like I would have had somebody in there. I just feel like this field just wasn't like it didn't feel like a real like this is pushing the future talent. It felt like these are guys that John Cena like whatever that fucking means. I would have put so many different people in there. I would have went to TNA. I would have put in Leon Slater. I would have put in. I would have put in Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Matt Cardona. Something different. I would have tried something different. I just feel like this just did not feel like a like I literally said this. This feels like it's really between two people, Javon Evans and Joe Hendry, and it shouldn't feel like that. It shouldn't feel like it's literally between two fucking people to win this. Is either Joe Hendry gonna win it or Javon Evans is gonna win this. You can't have it in between. And they tried to bid it like, oh yeah, Deion Lennox can win it. If he won it, he's not beating Oba. I don't give a fuck what you think. He ain't beating Oba. And even if he does beat Oba, he's dropping the belt at standing delivered to Javon Evans. So even if he would have won the belt, he still drops the bitch to Javon Evans and standing delivered. That is my thing. It's just yeah, I didn't like this. I didn't like this. I didn't like this at all. Even though the names was whatever, like I said, the last 10 minutes is really what this match was good. I felt like this was just a very slow pacing match. And with all that athleticism in that ring, it felt fucking slow. It felt very slow pacing, and they only picked it up at the end. And that's what I keep. It's like they only picked it up when it hit 15 minutes, and Joe Hendry came out. Outside of that, this fucking match was eh. But again, that last 10 minutes was very fucking entertaining. It was good in a motherfucker. I tell you that. It was very good. If you would have gave me those last 10 minutes of that match, the whole fucking match, it might be a 5-star match. But it's only 5.5. And also, Tony D'Angelo is officially back in NXT. I thought he would be back on the main roster, but it seems that they put him back in NXT. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. It seems like he's a heel now. I don't know what you're gonna do with him. Um, I, I don't know what you're gonna do with him. I have not. Is the plan for Javon and Tony D'Angelo fight at Stand and Deliver? And Oba fight Deion Lennox? That would be very stupid. That would be very stupid and very fucking dumb. And a waste of our fucking time. So, yeah. 4.5 stars. All right. I got 2 matches, 5 stars. Let's get into it, man. Number 1. The first 5-star match of this night is Ricky Sainz versus Obafemi. Ricky Sainz versus Obafemi for the NXT Championship. Again, it's 5 stars. This was the opening match, and it was one of the best matches on the card. Ricky Sainz and Obafemi. Actually, they had a better match than they did at NXT No Mercy. I think that I think it was a better match. I really do. I think this is a way better match than NXT No Mercy. Um, I think that I get people that don't like Ricky Saints for some apparent reason. I don't know what the fuck that came from. They don't like Ricky Saints now for some apparent fucking reason. I don't know why, but okay. Do you think? But I saw a lot of people debating this because of what happened last night on SmackDown, which was Cody Rhodes offered that he will be going 1-on-1 with the winner of this match. And tonight they put the belt back on Obafemi. And I think a lot of people already knew Oba was probably going to win. But I think that stipulation threw in like a, whoa, what if Ricky wins? It's safe, it's reliable, it's not going to go crazy. You can easily do that match because if Oba fights Cody, he has to be Cody. And that's one of those I hate when people say that shit because he has to beat Cody. I don't think he has to beat Cody. I think that's fucking crazy. I think he it would be very, very fucking good if he did it. I think it'd be very, very impactful to his career moving forward if they did that. But I don't think he absolutely outright has to be Cody Rhodes. I think that's fucking stupid. Would it work? Of course it will fucking work. Oba is already the future. And I've been saying this shit. I keep telling people, man, what y'all think Braun Breaker is, Oba really fucking is. Y'all is gaslighting this fucking promo of Braun Breaker Monday. I'm like, my nigga, did you not see Obafemi in New York at NXT when he came out and cut that fucking promo? That's a fucking promo. Whatever the fuck Braun was trying to do Monday was whatever. That's a fucking promo. That's a fucking everybody in the crowd. Woo! That motherfucker cut. Like, that's a fucking promo. What Brian did was whatever Brian did. I guess. But what Oba did in that fucking MSG that day, bruh, that whole crowd was like, yep, that's a guy. That's the fucking difference. You're trying to make fucking Braun Breaker the guy. Oba ain't got to be made. He's already there. That's the fucking difference. And you already putting him in the right. This is how crazy this shit is. You realize Obafemi is going to have a match one-on-one with Cody Rhodes before Braun Breaker has a one-on-one match with CM Punk? Y'all don't even realize. You see how stupid that shit sounds? You see how crazy that shit sounds? They believe that Obafemi is ready to have a one-on-one match with fucking Cody Rhodes, the champion, the undisputed WWE champion. They think Obafemi is ready to have a match with Cody Rhodes before Braun Breaker had a one-on-one singles match with CM Punk. And that shit ain't till January. You know how fucking crazy that shit sounds? That's the fucking future. That's what the future sounds like. That's what the future feels like. That's the fucking future. When they like, I trust the fact that he can go in that ring and have a fucking good match against the premier champion of our company in Cody Rhodes, compared to a guy we have to wait a month and trying to build. Oba's already fucking ready. And they already put him in the ring with Cody fucking Rhodes. But what do I know? Like I keep saying, you could force Braun Breaker all day. You could force Dominic Mysterio all day. Obafemi and Javon Evans is the true fucking futures of this company. The better you get to understand that, the better it will be for every fucking one of us. But Obafemi and Ricky Saints was better than their match at No Mercy. I thought this was a better back and forth. I felt like this is more showing, and Oba could sell his ass off. For somebody that fucking athletic, that fucking big, to sell his ass off like he sells his ass off, that shit is crazy. Oba's incredible at selling. I didn't think that motherfucker could sell his ass off. That fucking stunner he took, he fell. Oh, not that motherfucker can sell. He can sell his ass off. But this is one of the best matches of the night, and it's a 5-star match. But it's just not my match of the night because that goes to who else? But the women, man. The women of NXT proves again that they are the best damn things on NXT. It's clear as fucking day. The women's Iron Survivor Challenge should have main evented. It's match of the night for me, and it should have main evented. Even though the men's Iron Survivor Challenge kind of had somewhat of a story, this match was just way better. And I care more about the women's Iron Survivor Challenge than I care about the men. And to be honest with you, the women in this match have more star power than the fucking men. Like, outside of maybe Javon Evans, if you don't watch TNA, you don't know Leon Slater. And Joe Hendry, you don't know shit about these other guys. Like, if you don't watch TNA, then you don't know shit about Leon Slater. You don't know shit about Miles Bourne and Deion Lennox. You don't give a shit about Dark State Polly. 9 out of 10. You don't give a fuck about Dark State. 9 out of 10. And that's the thing. The women's Iron Survivor Challenge, no matter who you put in there, had star power. You could have put Jada Parker. You could have put Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, Zaria, Jordan Grace. You could have put Kendall Gray, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and File Henley. You could have put Win Sinclair in this motherfucker, and it still would have made more sense. It still would have made sense. That's how deep this fucking women's division is on NXT. Because it makes logical fucking sense for any woman to be in this fucking match. If you got a pulse and you're in NXT and you're in the women's division, you got a chance. You got a chance. I don't fuck with nobody says. You got a chance. Better than the men. Fuck. The men felt like I said, the men's Iron Survivor Challenge felt like two people and maybe a possible. Any winner, any one of these women could have won this fucking thing, and we would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. Outside of maybe Jordan Grace, because I would have been like a little bit like, I don't know about that. You've already pretty much put her in the ring with JC Jane like 2 times, and she hasn't won. It doesn't make sense to do that again. But so Ruka, Kalani Jordan, even Jordan Grace, even though she has been in the ring with her a little bit too much and she lost already, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you just did that with Javine. I could see it. You do it with her. I still think the money match is so Ruka getting the NXT Women's title at some point. I just don't know when they're gonna pull a fucking trigger. Because now it looks like they're going into this rivalry with her and Zarya. It seems like both of them are turning heel. It doesn't seem like they're both of them. One of them is going to turn on the other. It feels like both of them are going heel. I thought if Soul won tonight, that would be the perfect time for Soul Ruka and for Zarya to turn heel on Soul, because she then again gets another fucking title match, and you're like, oh my god, Soul's getting all these title matches, and I have to just get what Soul doesn't want, and that's bullshit. But I thought the women's Iron Survivor Challenge was way better. The pacing was better. You actually cared about the fucking match. This should have been the main event. I don't give a fuck nobody said. This should have been the main event. Congratulations to Kendall Gray. For 24 years old and already be the Evolve champion, women's champion, and also now the Iron Survivor Challenge winner, and now getting another title match against JC Jane this upcoming, New Year's Evil. That's pretty good. That's pretty special. I haven't really watched her wrestle too much, but if that's the way she wrestles, she's going to be one of the biggest names moving forward in women's division for WWE. If they keep her in place, she's going to be one of the biggest names in the women's division moving forward. I wish they would do this with Callie Armstrong, who was the first Evolve champion. I wish they would do this more with Callie Armstrong. She is beautiful. Lord have mercy. Have y'all seen Callie Armstrong? I'm sorry. Woo, shit. I saw a picture of her yesterday. I was like, whoa. I was like, Lord have mercy. All right. Like, damn. Damn. Yeah. I was like, Lord have mercy. Woo. I was like, whenever WWE get their shit together with you are gonna make some money. Like, Lord have mercy. All the matches she can do, oh my god. And her athleticism, her ability in the ring. Man, I can see her and Bianca tearing it up at a WrestleMania, but that's neither here nor there. Women's Iron Survivor Challenge was the best match tonight. I wish those women would have had a chance to close it out, because they deserved it, because they were way fucking better than the men. I didn't care about the men's Iron Survivor. Like I said, and maybe again, because the women had more star power, but also on top of that, I feel like just the men's Iron Survivor Challenge literally felt like it was only 2 people and a possible that could win. With all those women in the ring, Kendall Gray winning doesn't sound so fucking crazy. Like, her winning the Iron Survivor Challenge didn't sound so fucking crazy. Like, yeah, it makes sense. Kalani Jordan could have won it, and I would have been like, yeah, makes sense. So Ruka could have won it. I'd be like, about fucking time. Anybody could have won. Jordan Grace, even though she's already wrestled too many fucking times against JC Jane, I'd be like, maybe this is the time. Maybe she finally pulls it off. And Lola Vice, who I think is about to get called up. I don't see her staying in NXT too much longer, especially if they're going to continue to put this feud together, which is Aleister Black and Zelina Vega versus Damian Priest. I truly think they're going to, at some point, take Rhea out and put Lola Vice in. because Soruka, Soruka, Lola Vice and Damian Priest are a couple, so I can see them being put together at some point. I don't think that'd be a good idea for her career. So fucking early in her career to be tethered to her dude, that'd be very fucking crazy to do that. And then it'd be very stupid to do that. But I can see Lola Vice moving up to SmackDown and being quickly fucking loved. I don't say quickly because nowadays you don't know what the fuck is up with these fans. These fans love somebody on social media, then they get in the crowd, and then people just turn on them. Like you be like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Um, but yeah, all in all, man. Unlike last Saturday, I would actually go watch this shit again. Like I said, Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dane wasn't a bad match. I just didn't care about it. Like I said, the story was there. The match just felt like, again, you got put in a really tough position because you just had like literally three, two incredible fucking matches. The NXT title match, the women's Iron Survivors Challenge match, and then you had and some people like will say Ethan Page and Mr. Iguana was a good fucking match too. So you had a tight spot. You had a very difficult fucking spot. I think if this match was on NXT, it would be a really good match. They would have had a little bit more time to cook, and I think it would have been actually a really good match. Just wasn't for me. But as somebody out there, they would love this match. Like I said, Ethan Page, this is probably least his weakest match since being the NXT North American champion. And because Mr. Iguana is just not that type of guy, he's not that guy that I expect to go out there and have a fucking banger. You know what I mean? Like he's a character. He's fun. He's exciting, and that's about fucking it. Like it's nothing more, nothing less. The men's Iron Survivor Challenge, like I said, the names kind of threw me off when it was announced. I didn't like the names being put in this Iron Survivor Challenge. Outside of Leon Slater, Javon Evans, and Joe Hendry, eh, eh, I guess. And then the Ricky Saints over Femi match was incredible. And the women's Iron Survivor Challenge is literally the match of the night. That is all. Next week, I'll be back to do John Cena's last match. John Cena versus Gunther. Bailey's fighting Soruka next week on NXT, on NXT Lot of Mercy. Next Saturday at Saturday Night Event, and Cody versus Oba. Ooh, that shit feels like it's gonna be a hit. That's gonna be a match. Lord have mercy. And I don't know who else is gonna be put on this card. I don't think they're gonna put too many matches on this card. It might be 5. It might be 5. I know people are gonna be like, oh, it should be more. It probably is gonna be 5. I can see Ethan Page going one-on-one with either Dom. I don't think they're gonna put Hill versus Hill or Ilya Dragunov. I think Ethan Page versus Ilya Dragunov is gonna be a match. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Maybe Friday night they sell it, or maybe Monday, Monday Night Raw, they sell it. But I think Ethan Page versus Ilya Dragunov is gonna be a match. Or maybe Ilya Dragunov just does an open challenge on, Saturday Main Event, and Ethan Page comes out. That will work even better. A lot of people have been saying AJ and Dragon Lee versus Javon and Leon Slater. I don't know if they that would work. I would love to see that match. Actually, I would actually prefer that match. I think it'd be a fucking dope match to see. Outside of that, I don't know. Like I said, outside of that, I don't know who you. After that, I don't know who you put on the card. Like. I'm not putting Stephanie in a ring with anyone because he just left NXT. Why the fuck would I put Stephanie in a ring with someone? She just literally left NXT. Could I put Rhea in the ring with someone? If I'm putting Rhea in the ring with somebody, it's Izzy Dane, and that's pretty much fucking it. Like I don't think Rhea needs to be in a ring with somebody. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think like I said, Monday we're gonna find out who's the last 2 matches on this card. We'll see. If I had to say, go watch this PLE. I think it was a really good PLE. It's better than fucking last week. I'll tell you that fucking much. I was getting ready to cancel my fucking ESPN subscription after last week. I was like, man, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm not watching this shit no more. Next week, John Cena's last match, and I started it and I will be continuing it this week, which is Wrestling Life, my top 25 list of 2025, which I got my shockers, my moments, and my stories out right now on all podcast platforms and my YouTube channel. So go listen to that episode. This week, it is my top 25 wrestlers of 2020, my top 10 wrestlers of 2025. Some of these people on this list, some of these people tonight might be on that list tomorrow, this week. So tune in for that episode this week. I will be recording that this week. And then, of course, next week, John Cena. And, of course, I'll be closing it all out with my top 10 wrestling matches of 2025, which I already wrote down. I just got to watch them and put them in order. But outside of that, yeah, man. All in all, if this is how wrestling is going to close out, this was better than last fucking week. Like I said, NXT has more heart, has more give a fuck than the main actual roster. And that's just facts. So yeah. Till next week, man. I am BrandonJaneau. This is Wrestling Life. Hope you guys enjoy this. Peace.